Welcome, everyone, to this edition of Talented Universe on the NDB Media Network. I don't think I'm allowed to say it. I just got a text from somebody. I better not say it on air because they didn't clear me to say it. So
Okay.
I'm going to. I'll tell Marcia afterwards. But we'd like to welcome everyone that's out in cyberspace that is watching us live. We do appreciate it. If you do have a question for Gabrielle when we are ready to take questions, please put it in the chat room, and if we have time, we will get to it. Marcia, how are you doing on this fabulous day?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be on air and ready to talk with Gabrielle.
Yes, we are excited about that. And I would like to welcome Gabrielle Brown to our podcast. Gabrielle, how are you faring today?
I'm doing great. I'm enjoying the sun out here, and thankfully no rain or thunderstorms over in this area, but I'm very excited to be here and to be chatting with you all.
Well, we're taking care of that for you today. We're getting all the fun on the East Coast today. So. But hey, you know, what can you do? What can you do?
Mother Nature.
Mother Nature is fun. I'm going to go ahead and get my silly question out of the way early this time. Well, a couple of questions, just for people that most of the people probably are looking because of your vertical dramas.
Yes.
When did you do your first vertical drama? When did you film it?
My first one I filmed in, I think it was March or April of last year. So we're about our 1 year now.
About 1 year mark.
Yeah.
After you did your first one, and maybe you called your parents and you told them what you were doing, did they not know what the heck you were talking about, or did you cover up what you were doing?
I didn't cover it up. My parents are super supportive of what I do, and my mom, I've been in the industry since I was about 8, so very young. She's been like a momager. She's so supportive. So I always update her. She loves verticals. She was actually watching them before I started it.
Really? So she knew what they were, so you didn't have to try to explain it to her.
She knew what was up. So yeah, it was great when I did tell her that I had an audition for one. She was like, "No way! Like, I've been watching those," and she started on Real Short on the app, and that was the first one I also started on was Real Short vertical. And so yeah, it was really cool. She was super happy about it. My dad is just like, proud of you. If you're doing good, I'm proud of you.
Did you have to try to explain it to anybody, or everybody that you talked to? Because you came in a little bit later in the game than some people did.
Yeah.
And so there was more exposure. I mean, when I first, about 1.5 years ago, I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to rope Marcia into it. Now she still gets me for that, you know.
But I mean, it's so fun. I love this world. I'm so thankful I'm in it now. But yeah, it's a mixture. Sometimes I meet people and they're like, "I love your work. Like, you have such great stuff. Your acting's awesome." And then sometimes I meet people and they have no idea what the vertical space is. And so I'm like, let me tell you something real quick. And then I, fill them in on this amazing and upcoming part of the industry. Yes, it's 50-50. It depends. But I'm always, I always love to explain and to help educate people if they're not familiar with them.
Yeah, and as I said, there's not as many as there were 1.5 years ago when none of my friends knew what I was talking. I only had one co-host that knew what I was talking about. She'd been looking at him for 3-4 years already.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because she looked at the ones from China. Yeah.
Yeah,
he was looking at the Chinese ones. Yeah. So so she knew what they were, and I thought, oh, well, I thought I was telling you something you didn't know. But that's the way that works.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and how fast they've overtaken it, at least over here in the States. It's incredible. It's crazy.
Yes. And let's see, I'm going to throw up one question, then I'm going to go up to Marcia. Carla Sarmiento asked, "Hi, Gabrielle. I would love to know how did you get into the vertical space?" That was, that's why I wanted to say this, because I was going to ask, but she asked. I'd rather put it up there.
Oh, perfect. Hi, Carla. Thanks for coming and asking. It's a great question. I didn't almost do verticals. I almost stopped doing the industry entirely. I had moved out here when I was about 18. I, didn't do what was best for me, got into some not so good things, and I ended up not liking the industry at all. And I was like, all right, I don't think I want to be a part of it. I'm never going to live in LA again. I'm never going to step foot in California to begin with. And then I went and was backpacking for a little while and started to run out of money. And I was like, all right, Gabrielle, what do I want to do with my life? What do I need to, I need to figure something out. And so I didn't want to go back to modeling because that's what I had mostly done growing up, was just modeling, like fashion, commercial stuff, nothing in the theatrical world. And I had been doing a few jobs, modeling jobs here and there when I had gotten back, just to, you know, get some more funds going. And in doing one of those jobs, I met a great guy. His name is Michael Campbell. He had a manager out here in LA, and he was like, you should just talk to her and like see, you know, she's wonderful. I got into chats with her. I ended up signing with her. She helped me get my first agency out here in LA. I'm with Love Talent. And they sent me an audition like fairly early on in our contract when I just signed with them. And I was like, what is this vertical? Like, I didn't really even clock that it was vertical. I just was like, yeah, like vertically. I was just like, oh, this is cool. Like, I was just happy to get an audition for an acting gig. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. And I did it. And I ended up booking the lead for it. And the rest is history. I've been drawn back in ever since. But I did not do it there for a while.
I understand that. Now, this is a hi from Vertical World Girl, so she just says hi.
Hey.
I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Marsha for a little bit, then I'll get back to some other questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Marsha.
Hi, Gabrielle.
Hello.
It is so much fun when I get to research people who are coming on the program, because everybody's story is different. And as you may see, I've got the Wayback Machine here. That's from Mr. Peabody and Sherman from an old cartoon. So I like to put a coin in the Wayback Machine. So we're putting a coin in your Wayback Machine.
Okay.
So we know you started about 8 years old, you said, and started modeling.
Yes.
And you also grew up in the Pennsylvania area.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
In
so
the country.
Tell us about.
Yeah, I grew up in very rural Pennsylvania. I come from, it's called Tremont. It's a very, very small town. We have one red light. My high school was a combination of a few different small towns in our county. We had about like 500 in our entire high school. It was very small. I knew everybody in my hometown. It was very tight knit in good and bad ways, if that makes sense, you know, small town.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely very different from LA. And I love Pennsylvania. I love my home. I'm right on the Appalachian Mountains. And so it's such a beautiful home and a beautiful place to have grown up. And I'm really thankful for it. But yeah, and then just like traveling around when I was young up to New York so often, I think created like this sense of curiosity for the world and wanting to explore more. And yeah, so, but I love home. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I am born and raised in New York City. So, but we used to always take trips into things like Pennsylvania. And it's beautiful. It's just, so you made trips into New York City?
Yeah. So from when I started doing this, into probably, I would say maybe my freshman year of high school, we would call them educational field trips. And I would be mostly not in school, doing shoots. My mom, I love her so much. She would drive me up to New York like 2, 3, 4 times a week and never complain, like always want to drive me up, even if it was for like an in-person callback or something that wasn't even guaranteed. She always was there, and like we would take them. And I do think that they were very educational, and I learned so much being in the city at such a young age, like just experiencing all this different culture and these different types of people and stuff that you don't really see when you come from a very small, like secluded town. So I think, I'm very thankful for the opportunity to be able to do that growing up.
Did you get to see any theater? Did you get to?
I wish. Phantom of the Opera is my absolute favorite. I mean, I love the movie with Emmy Rossum, but I would love to see it live the next time it comes on to Broadway. But unfortunately, the only time I think I got to go was to see Lion King, and it was for my high school senior trip, and it was a great show. It was wonderful. But I do wish I could get into more and see more.
Yeah, and so moving forward, you're kind of you've been an adventurer too, because
Yeah.
you've been a world traveler and had some really interesting experiences
Mhm.
abroad. So I
Yeah.
give you props for that because traveling alone ain't easy. So you
No,
go, girl.
it definitely wasn't. It was crazy too because I didn't start traveling really until after I had graduated high school and I was kind of in college. I mean, I was up in New York a lot, but that was pretty much it until after my best friend Avery and we were like, we want more, like we want to experience more. And so when we turned 18, we got our first like international flights. We went to Greece for the first time, and that just made my love of travel even more like prevalent in my life. And so for the last couple years, I've made it a point to travel. And when I travel, I do volunteer work. It's called Workaway. I'm not sure if you've heard of it before. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great platform. I recommend it to everybody who's traveling. But I use that and also Trusted House Sitters, which is a great app too to
Mhm.
just stay in places for free and really cool like local homes. And so, yeah, I was able to use that and do it relatively cheap and just travel along. And I do have a YouTube channel that I used to post these vlogs on, and they are still up there. So you can still see them.
Mhm.
But I love landscape architecture and I'm in school for interior architecture and design. So when I was on those travels, I would help renovate their gardens, help out with anything they kind of needed.
Wow.
And it made me such a more secure person in myself and what I want in life, and just more well-rounded with all the different
Mhm.
experiences along the way. But definitely think it's essential to growth when you travel outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah. So you've already been so many places. Are there places that you have yet on your list to go?
Oh, 100%.
Like everywhere.
Yeah, there's so many places. I want to go and see as much as I can. And
Hmm.
right now, the last year, it's been a little bit difficult to do that. And it's a great problem to have because there's been a lot of shooting, which I'm so thankful for, and awesome projects. And even there, like shooting on these different locations is so cool. Like there's so many different locations that we get to shoot at and see. But yeah, I haven't been able to adventure as far away as I'd want to. But I'm
Mm.
hoping I could do like a month or two long trip over to Asia and just hit like
Ah.
Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, all of those places, and do some more volunteer work over there.
Hmm. So I'm going to jump also now into your vertical, which one of my favorites is Daughter of Zeus, which I'm a sci-fi fan. We're a sci-fi fantasy group.
Yep.
So I was very excited to see a kind of new take on the vertical genre.
Yep.
And so how much fun was that?
that that is my favorite thing that I have ever done. I hands down that project will be like at the top of my list for a very, very long time. It's going to be hard to top that. Not only with like how awesome the script was and these characters and this entire world, but the people that I was working with, like the cast and the crew. It was not an easy shoot. We were shooting this when it was like torrential rain pours in LA. I think it was like November-ish. And so we were shooting outside too, like every single day. And so it was very difficult. We had trucks getting stuck all the time. We had just everything was kind of stacked against us, and we all like came together as a family unit and pushed through and made something so incredibly amazing. And it was like the first of its kind of genre
Yeah.
in this vertical space. And I will forever be incredibly grateful to have been able to be Arya and bring that character to life, because
Hmm.
from the costumes to the sets, like our cost Caroline, she's the head costumer at Real Short, and she is incredible. They like hand created most of those pieces. They were custom made. They were so innovative in the different things. Like we had a centaur who had a full like bottom half of like a horse on, and they created it by hand and like 3D printed hoofs. Like to Hermes character, they handmade the wings. Like it
Oh,
was
that was beautiful.
that's one of my favorite out like characters ever is Andrew's Hermes. Like that is my one of my faves. It just looked so ethereal and so amazing. And it's just all of the dedication and the time that so many creatives put together to make something incredible. And I'm forever so thankful for it. But yeah, it was so much fun to film, and it turned out
Right.
so amazing.
We've had Andrew on, and
Yeah.
he talked about his costume, and I was hoping that he would continue through the the story, and he did. So
Yeah.
we got to see a lot of him, and
Good.
and your one of your first lines was you were a badass. You're like,
I know. I'm like, I know who you are. You killed my mom, you mother effer.
yeah.
And that's why I love Aria too, because she reminded me a lot of myself. Like, I come from a town that is very, I don't know, it just kind of like small town vibes. Like, she grew up without knowing her mother, and she just like had to fight through a lot of things. And I felt such like a pull to Aria. And originally they had asked me, they were like, would you mind dyeing your hair bleach blonde? They wanted to dye it bleach blonde when I first auditioned for the part. Yeah, it was, and my manager instantly was like, nope, we're not doing that. Because I had never dyed my hair. I it's like a natural, I get too scared to. And so when they had asked that, I was like, I really, really want this part, but I can't dye it. I just can't. And then they came back a few days later and they're like, all right, you don't have to dye it. We still want you. And I just felt like that was a sign that like it was Aria was supposed to be, I'm supposed to be her. And I think it worked out for the best. I think she looked amazing how she was with her brunette hair and the cool hairstyles they did. And I felt so warrior and goddess like. And I could go on and on about it.
And so could we, because we want more.
Yeah, I know. I told them, I'm like, give us more of that. I know I'm like hopeful that I do see a lot different like genres popping up, and not just on like Real Short, on different apps. Like, there are a lot more independent ones too that are creating really cool stories that we haven't seen before, and it makes me very hopeful for our future and that we'll get some more fantasy things, because I would love to do more like that, like a Court of Thorns and Roses kind of stuff, like Ella Enchanted, Lara Croft, like any of those. I love that kind of world, and I would love to play in that more.
Okay, Michael, back in your court.
Well, just so you know, I had someone message me. They wanted to come and surprise you, but they are working.
Oh,
so they were very upset. So Hermes says hi.
I love it. Aw. I hope he's doing well. I haven't seen him in thousands of years.
Yes. Well, that's because you were over to that other realm, with the gods,
Right.
So time goes differently there,
I
right?
know, time goes so differently. That's so sweet. Tell him I said hello, friend. Or I guess hello, friend.
Yeah, I was hoping he could join us, but he says he is working, but he just wanted to say hi.
I met up with Declan last night, and Sky, and a few others who have also worked with Andrew, and we were singing his praises, and it was just really cool to meet them and be like, I've seen you guys as well. Your stuff is so awesome. Like, it's really cool to like meet you in person, and but I love him. He's great. They're all amazing.
Yeah, they really are. They're very talented. They're very talented.
That's why I'm so for these. There's so many talented people, and everybody you're able to showcase that because there's so many different projects, and it's awesome.
There certainly are. Certainly more than I thought when I got started in this.
It's crazy.
I thought I'd be done in 2 or 3 months tops. Film having everyone that's in the vertical world on the show.
No,
I haven't even touched the surface yet.
Yeah,
and we've been doing it for over a year now, and we still haven't even touched the surface. So
but it's a great thing. It's a great like problem to have in the industry where we have so many, because there's so many talented people out there that are so right for different roles, and it's awesome that these verticals are allowing so many different types of people to be seen and to create names for themselves. Because before these, I wasn't a name. I wasn't anything. I just had started, and it's crazy what it can like build you up into. And like, it's such an awesome opportunity. So thankful.
How has your social media changed since all this happened?
Okay, that's a good question. Yeah, so also when I had left California before, when I was younger, I had said, you know, I'm done with all of this. Like I deleted my TikTok, which I still don't have a TikTok. I'm not a big TikTok girly. I'll do Instagram Reels. It's basically the same thing, but I don't know. I was very against it. I was like, I never want to feel like I have to post something, or that I'm posting something that's ingenuine to myself, or like, I don't know, feel like it's not good enough to post even if I want to post it. So it took a while to get to a point where I was like, all right, I'm posting for me. I don't need to post every day. I just didn't want it to control my life, and it can definitely take over when you're in this industry, because everything is about like what you put out, how people perceive you, and like the more you post, the more exposure you get. And so it's a hard balance, because I'm very big on like, I'm not really an influencer per se. I love to act. I love to, you know, be in this space, but I'm not the best at doing the social media sides of it. And so I've been trying to find a good rhythm and flow with it, and post kind of what I enjoy posting. Sometimes it has to do with like the set. It's usually BTS, because I love to do BTS. But yeah, it's hard, but I try not to let it like control me or feel like I need to post for others. You know, I just want to post because of me. And so I always try to remember that. But it's been fun. I've been loving seeing like all of the love and the support from everybody. Like it's insane to see the outpouring of love, and it makes me feel even better doing what I do, and that people are receiving it well, and it's connecting with others. So I appreciate it in that stance where I'm able to talk to others, you know, create awesome connections. And yeah, it's a good thing to have.
Well, it is. It is. I think you answered this, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just going to throw it up from Shirley. You're really good at acting. Wondering if you had filming experience or took some acting classes before you entered the vertical world.
Okay. Well, hi, Shirley. Thank you for the question. So I've never gone to college for acting. I've never done like super professional acting. I've never like learned a certain method of acting. I have dabbled in it. I've researched it a little bit, but I've never trained specifically for it. I have taken a few online like Zoom classes through a really great casting director named Dean Frank. He's super awesome. I did a few with him when I first was getting back into this industry in general, and coming over to the theatrical side. But I like to think that I have gained a lot of experience just kind of being on set and growing up on set. I feel like it's made me very comfortable in front of the camera. I don't feel kind of like shy and doing crazy things in front of people, because I've been so like desensitized, and I don't find myself cringe or anything. And so I think that's helped a lot, just like being on set my whole life kind of, and growing up on it. Yes, this is very different in the term of it's not photos, we're acting, and it's different like kinds of days and set schedules, but it's still in the same sense of being in front of the camera and like doing something that, you know, you have to kind of fake. Or yeah, I think that it's helped, just the years of it.
There you go. Justin asked if you could co-star with any A-list Hollywood celebrity, who would it be?
That is so hard of a question, because there's so many.
Top 5.
Top 5?
I'll change the question. Top 5.
Okay, I feel like I mean,
living or dead. That would be scary if I said
Who
living
is
or
it?
dead. So I'd say just living. Yeah, just
I mean,
living.
we could do like
Living.
a fun, like they're a ghost character, they come back.
Well, there you go.
Or something. I don't know. I feel like right off the bat, a woman that comes to mind is Jessie Buckley. One, just because I look up to her so much. She just won the Oscar. She's an amazing actress. She comes from the theater world. If I get to share the screen with her once in my life, I will be so internally grateful for that, because she's just somebody to look up to, and I admire her work, and so I would love to work with her at some point in the future. Who else? Let's see. I feel like right now, Jacob Elordi, I would love to work with him in some capacity, because he's just so amazing, has so many characters under his belt. He has such good range, and he seems like a sweet person to work with. I just watched Wuthering Heights a week or two ago. Crushed my soul. I loved it so much. But watching him and Margot's like interviews and how amazing and safe the space that they created for themselves was on set. I was like, that's really awesome. And it's so important to feel that from people. And it's, you know, when you're doing intimate things with people, it's so important to feel safe. And I don't know, it's just like he feels like such a nice, comfortable, and awesome person to work with. So maybe one day that would
There
be
you
cool.
go.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think her name is Sophie Thatcher. She's on Yellow Jackets, and she was also just in, I forget what it's called, but she's a robot who ends up kind of going psycho. It's like a horror one, but she's amazing. I saw her in Yellow Jackets the first time, and she's just so freaking cool. She's so funny. She's very good at getting into characters and making them very specific to, you know, that world. And I also admire her, so I would love to work with her as well one day. I don't know. Just there's so many great people. I love to work with like Jonah Hill. I want to do comedy. I would love to get into comedy and like do a funny like spoofy comedy thing. But I don't know. I'm trying to think of some more off the top of my head. But I'm just in a
Oh, you don't have to do 5. I just did that to make it easier for you. If you just want to
I
go
was like,
top
1
3,
is
that's
already
fine.
hard, but 5.
Yeah, so that's fine. So 3 is good. I'm happy with that. I hope Justin is too. So there you go.
I hope that answers your question, Justin. But I'm open to working with anybody in any capacity. I am just thankful for any opportunity that I get to step on set with another great actor. So
yeah. And here's something more in the vertical world. And I'll just go other things that you've done.
Yes.
Carla wants to know, what is your process for creating your vertical characters?
Okay, Carla. So I like to think that I've lived quite a few different lives in my lifetime so far. I started out kind of in high school. I was very straight edge, student council president, varsity volleyball captain, like very by the book. I followed the rules. I would like snitch on my brother if he was out too late or something.
There you go.
Yeah, I was very straight edge. And then I got to college. Things changed. I had a little partying phase, as most do in their college years. And then I came out to California. I had a kind of crazy phase out here, and then I left. I ended up getting married. I've been divorced now, so I had a whole life as a wife for a little bit, and then I had my backpacking life. And so each one of those experiences and those like lifetimes, I call them, I always try and pull from when I'm doing different characters. Because say I'm like on British Bad Boy, she's just like a prep school girl who's top of her class, focused. So I pull from my first life, I call it, which is my high school life, and I try and pull from how I was there. And I journal a lot too, so I look back at my journals and I'll be like, all right, this is how my mindset was, this is what I was thinking. And so with Aria, I felt I tried to pull like when I'm back home in the woods and like riding horses or like working out on the farm or something, I try and pull that more like raw energy into her. So I definitely just try and pull different aspects of myself into these characters and find anything I can do to relate them to me. And I think that makes it a lot easier to, you know, step into that world then. And I also try and take on roles that I feel very connected to, because then I think it's easier to, you know, play that character and be in that world.
Yeah, Justin just says, you know, we asked if that was good. He says, I'm happy with it. So he was happy with 3. So there you go.
Good, I'm glad, Justin.
Yeah. It's nice when they're live and they can interact with us. So, you know,
I'm doing something like this, so it's really cool.
Yeah. I think I'm going to hold off on this other question. I'm going to go back to Marcia because I have a feeling the Wayback Machine is starting to spin really fast and it wants to get some things out. So I'm going to go back to Marcia then.
Okay. Well, you mentioned volleyball, and volleyball is kind of close to my heart because I used to play volleyball as well. And
I love it. What position?
Well, I used to play. Well, I wasn't very good at service. Let me put it that way.
It's hard. It's so hard.
Well, and I grew up in New York City, so we didn't have beach volleyball.
Yeah.
And so we played on the, you know, in the parquet and the gymnasium and six-person volleyball.
Yeah.
So, and I would say that for women, especially when I was growing up, volleyball was sort of on par with basketball for men in a way,
Yeah.
because it's the team sport, and having to really play all positions. We did, as you rotate through,
Yeah.
and
Through the court.
yeah. So when you were playing volleyball, how was that as far as developing team, or how
Mm,
did that feel?
that's a very good question. So my coach and our team, it was very important for us to do team building exercises. Like we had tryouts for like I think it was a week long before they picked like teams and placed us in places. And so throughout the whole week, yes, we were doing, things to show off our athletic abilities, but we also were doing team building exercises, showing off like how we work as a team. And I think that teamwork is the most important thing. Yes, and volleyball is, you need your team. Like other sports, yes, like basketball, you can dribble down the court by yourself, shoot it in by yourself. Like with football, you can run down, the field all by yourself and score a touchdown by yourself. But with volleyball, you need three different touches. Like you can't do it
Yeah.
yourself. It's you rely on your other people, and it's so important because I was a setter and I was also an outside hitter. So as a setter, it's so important for you to be so connected to your hitters, because you're doing very quick little sets, and they have to know, like, I'm doing this right here, it's right above my head, and they're coming in even before you set the ball. And you have to have that synchronicity within each other, and that trust also that they're going to be there. And so I think it did help me a lot with teamwork and being good on a team and wanting to help others. And I feel like naturally I've always just been a team player, and my mom is such like a selfless person, and she raised me to also be, selfless and kind, and to work with others. And so the volleyball just really reinstated that, and it forced us to work, because like we would lose tournaments or games, and that would be on us, and we would have to lose as a team, and we have to look and be like, all right, what did we not do? And one of the biggest things is communication, especially for volleyball players, and not communicating. The ball drops,
Mhm.
or two people run into each other, and or like say I am going to set and I say shoot, and shoot is like a super quick, like to the outside, and it's not like a super high set where they have time. And it's like you have to communicate, and you have to be able to talk. And also, if there's an issue, you have to be able to communicate that too. If they're not liking how I'm setting, or if like the setter isn't setting where I need them to set, like, you have to be able to communicate that in a healthy way, mind you. There's a way to always communicate healthy boundaries, and just, but yeah, it definitely did teach me a lot about how to work on a team. And I think I've taken
Yeah.
that into my everyday life, because we work on huge teams now for
Yeah.
these projects.
How about that? And
Mhm.
you then sort of to take that into some of your work in verticals, when you talked about teamwork, and even on a film project like Love is a Dangerous Dance,
Mhm.
where there was a lot of synchronicity. You had a lot of shooting and stunts and this, and so there had to be a lot of teamwork there, I think.
Yeah, there was a lot for sure. That project was, I mean, it was a well-oiled machine. Everybody knew what we needed to get done. Jen, our director, was phenomenal in directing us and the shots, and like what she was looking for and what we needed to get done. And there was a lot to that one. I mean, all of the different, like, not like the blood on the costumes, and
Oh yeah.
how flatter it, and there's just so many different things that have to happen, that have to come together, so many different department heads that have to come together. And it's so important, because if one fails, or if one doesn't show up, then it hurts everybody. And so that's why it's so
Mm.
important to have such a great crew and a great team. And Love is Dangerous Dance, it was phenomenal. I love those people. That was the first time I worked. His name is Dan. He's one of the camera ops. Rod. I'm sure some of if the vertical people are listening, they might know some of these names. But Porter, Bryce. I'm so thankful for that crew. They are so amazing. I've done 3 projects now with them, and they work so hard, and they're like family. And I'm so thankful for it, because they do great at what they need to do. We do good at what we need to do, and everybody comes together. We make something good, and it's better in the end. If we work well as a team, everything just is so much easier. It comes out smoother. We enjoy our days on set. So I'm like, there's no reason to be mad at each other or have any type. I don't know. I'm very trying to just be positive on set and keep like a positive energy with everybody because it definitely helps.
Yeah. And with that project, you were a ballerina was your goal.
Yes.
How did that feel having needing to portray that prima ballerina?
Yeah, so that was a very challenging role for me because I don't have ballet experience per se. I have background in like dancing, but growing up, I chose the volleyball route, so I did more athletics in the sense of like I didn't really dance as much. And so before they had asked, "Hey, are you comfortable with this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I feel comfortable." I'd taken a few classes like the weeks prior to kind of prep for it, and then we had a day where we went into like a ballet studio and we worked with, I had two dance doubles as well for the Swan Lake performance because that prima ballerina level dancing, and we were like, let's do it justice and get an actual prima ballerina in here to make sure it looks beautiful. So Bryn is one of the ballerinas and Sarah was another one, and they're both amazing ballerinas, and we worked with Bryn for a whole day and just practice getting on point, practicing different positions. Our dance, the dance that Mark and I do in like the club, we practiced that as well and choreographed that. And so yeah, it was definitely challenging because it was the first time I kind of had taken on something that I was sure of myself that I was able to do it, but it was also something new that I hadn't really done, especially on camera before. So I wanted to make sure we did it justice, and I feel very happy with like how it turned out. I think it was beautifully done, and I'm so thankful for our dance doubles and our teachers to make sure we're doing it in a safe way too, because going on point, if you've never gone on point, is very dangerous. You could break your ankles. And I just was like, yeah, let me get out there on point. And thankfully I was safe about it, but it was challenging. Ballet is not easy.
And were the tattoos no, that's a fan question.
My tattoos.
Yeah.
What about them?
Real? Although now yours, are those real, and were his real?
Oh, okay. So I do have a few real tattoos. They usually cover them up when we're shooting, depending on the character. I am in the process actually of getting a bunch of them removed right now, about a year in. I have no attachment to them. I don't need them anymore, so I'm just removing them. But they tend to cover all of mine up because they don't want, I don't know why, but they just don't want them. But they're all like, they're pretty light, if you can kind of see. They're all fading. So they're very, very tiny little guys, but they usually just cover them. But Mark's, those tattoos, they put those babies on like every single day. His big snake on his neck, hand tats. They actually had a bunch of like actual tattoo like stencils that they would use, and then they had a tattoo pen that they would use because some of the days like he would be able to keep it on overnight, and they would just touch it up a little bit, and it worked well. It worked so well.
Yeah, they look real, so good job. And I
know Lara Croft she's our Lara Young, but she's our, I said Lara Croft. I'm still thinking of Lara Croft. Lara Young. She's so amazing. I love her so much. She was our hair and makeup on Love is Dangerous Dance, and she phenomenally done. She's actually nominated for an award for it at the Vertical Drama Love Awards, and I'm so proud of her because she's so talented.
Thank you for mentioning so many names of the people, the creators, because a lot of times we don't get to see that in the credits and stuff. So thank you for giving them their due.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we wouldn't be able to make these without everybody. It takes a whole team, and every single person on that team is important, and they're there for a reason. And I want to enjoy who I work with, and I'm thankful that everybody has been amazing so far, and we get to have fun on these sets. And and I want to give credit where it's due, because there are some people behind the camera that you don't get to see, but are making these fun worlds that everybody gets to enjoy.
And before I toss it back to Michael,
to me,
I have to ask you about hopefully some upcoming projects that you're having. Now, I don't know how much you can talk about it, but since it's on IMDb, I thought maybe you might be able to give us a hint about Yeah.
Which project?
Extinction.
Oh, yes, the extinction role. Yes, so that one I'm very, very excited for it. I actually, sorry, I shot that one right after I finished True Era Saves High School. So that one we shot back in, I think it was like May-ish of
Oh.
last year. And that was my first feature film, a lead in it. And I cannot wait for it to come out. It was, what I can say is that it's a sci-fi action film. It's
Yay.
very, very cool, very action-packed. She's probably, Elizabeth is my character's name. She's probably one of the most favorite characters I've also ever played. It's just very fun. It kind of reminds me of like the Goonies vibes meets like E.T. meets like Alien. It's just a whole crazy adventure with some like kiddos, and it's such a great story. And I'm hopeful that it'll be out in a few months before the end of this year, and I cannot wait to share it with everybody, and I think that people are gonna love it.
Yeah, super cool.
But yeah.
Okay, Michael, I give up now.
Oh, you give up? Okay, that's the way it goes. But I'm going to expand on something we were talking about before, and I think you let it slip who one of them was. You said you're a sci-fi fantasy fan.
Mhm.
Are there any worlds that you really love the movies, love the TV series,
Yeah.
or anything? Do you have some favorites?
Oh, of course.
Like Laura Croft?
Yeah, there's so many. I feel like one of my absolute all-time favorites is Arwen from Lord of the Rings, the elven queen. She is just the grace that she has on camera. She doesn't have to say anything. She's just a presence, and I love that world and that space, and I would love to play a character in that kind of world, and like her, she's just so ethereal and strong. And so she's one of my favorite characters, favorite worlds. I'm a big fan of the A Court of Thorns and Roses book series and Glass of Throne book series, and I love that whole world as well. And so I think it would be so fun to play a fairy or some type of cool character in that world. But yeah, give me any adventure books, anything like that. I love The Giver is one of my favorite books. It is a movie, but I would love to do something like that in the vertical space as well. I think that would be a really fun storyline to bring to life, like a utopian dystopian story. But yeah,
are you a Star Wars fan or no?
I do like Star Wars. I will say I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I think it's beautiful. It's very iconic. It's fun to watch when I watch it. But yeah, it's not something that have ever been like super drawn to. But I would love to play in a world like that as well too. I mean, it's so cool.
Yeah, it does get cool. It does get cool. I'm going to do one more question from the chat room. Then I'm going to go to Marcia for her final things. Now, here's one from Carla. The top 3 vertical stars you want to work with next that you haven't worked with yet.
This is so hard to answer.
Okay, if you do not want to answer, I understand.
No, I will work. I'll answer. I'll answer in a way. I am just looking forward to all the opportunities of being able to shoot with all these great actors and actresses coming up. I think there are some really awesome names out there, and I would be honored to work with any of them in whatever capacity it may be. But somebody that I am hoping to work with in the future, his name is Luke Stanford. He's does a lot of real short as well. He just had a great show release where it was a musical, and he produced and wrote his own songs for it. It's awesome. But I don't know. I would love to work with him. He's so fun. I've been seeing him at a few of these events, and we were like, we definitely should try and work together. So he would be wonderful to work with. But there's just so many awesome people.
Yeah, that's why I was afraid. Yeah,
it's hard because I'm thankful for whoever, and I want to work with everybody that I can work with. And I would love to work with anybody that I've already previously worked with because they've been so amazing.
No, I totally get that. If you could choose a genre that you would prefer to be in a vertical on, would it be fantasy? if they had a lot of fantasy, is that the preferred one, or would it be something else?
I feel like it would be fantasy, honestly. I'm a big fantasy girl. I want to get out of this reality that we're living in and be in a different reality. And I want to also create that for other people to, like, jump into and immerse themselves into those kinds of worlds. And I think we need more whimsy out there nowadays. So I want to bring more whimsy into it. And yeah, I think
so. In other words, you would much rather play. You would rather play Zeus's daughter than a CEO billionaire. Is that correct?
Safe to say that is correct. I much prefer running around barefoot than in high heels, but
there you go.
That's just me personally. I'm barefoot all the time. I'm like running around set. My feet are always dirty. They're like, Gabrielle, what are you doing? Like, your feet are black. I'm like, I don't know. It's just the dirt. It's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah,
we can edit that, right?
Yeah, you fix it in post, right?
Yeah, but any kind of role. Give me a role that I could just be in the woods, like playing around, rolling in the dirt, and I'm a happy girl.
There you go, Marcia.
Wow, that kind of leads well into one of my favorite questions to ask. We have so many reality shows here in the United States. We have the cooking shows and the adventure shows and the dancing shows. And so, Gabrielle, you have to go on a reality show.
You're required to.
Yes, as a contestant, as a participant. What do you think you might choose?
Okay, I had one that came straight to mind. I would love to be on Survivor. I love Survivor. I don't have like a type of way. Like, people go on and they like, I know how I'm gonna play the game, and they play the game like a specific way. I just want to go on and just see if I can live on an island. Like, I'm like, you guys can vote me off anytime, but let me just be there, bathe in the ocean, cook some fish that I've caught on the fire. Let me build a shelter. Like, that would just be so fun. I think that would be great. So I think, Survivor is just my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. I do enjoy. I have enjoyed watching Survivor over the years, and I'm not surprised that you picked Survivor from your adventurous spirit that you've shown.
Yeah. But what would be even better, I feel like, is if I could take over from Jeff and be the new host. That would be even better. I would love to do that and just be a host for something like that instead of being like a contestant on it. I think that'd be top level. I'd enjoy that.
Okay, Jeff, are you listening? We've got a person who's going to follow you.
I'd love to put me out in the woods. I'll host a show for you guys.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing some of yourself with us today. You've been delightful fun, and we hope to maybe convince you to come back and talk about your upcoming projects when they come.
Love that. Yes. Thank you guys so much. It really is so fun. Thanks for listening to me yap. I know I can talk a lot, but I appreciate you guys having space.
Well, and again, thank you so much for coming. We just love having the vertical people on. They are all so different and varied, and they've all got a different little kind of story, don't they, Marcia?
They sure do, and yeah, it's so much fun delving into your experiences and hopes for the future.
Yes, I'm thankful, for everything and for being able to talk about it and share it with the world and bring such fun stories to life for everybody. And but you guys are so wonderful to talk to, and I thoroughly had such a fun time.
Well, we're so happy you came. And if you're watching us live, below there's a little announcement there. Some people know about it, some people do not. We will be having a vertical drama panel at WonderCon at the end of this month on the 27th at 6 p.m. And we've got a few from the vertical world coming. Evan Camacho, Molly Flanagan, Jake Hobbs, Emily Lisa Jones, Jackie Lauper, Gabe Armentano, and there's a few more, and they're coming around again. So I will say them so I don't forget them.
Yay!
But but I just want to also say that it could change who our panelists are because they might have a prior commitment that popped up at the last minute.
I see some familiar faces though, and some people I've worked with. Also, Judy, she's the one.
Riley Nottingham.
Oh yeah.
And, Evan, I should say. Yeah. So it's going to be really exciting. I'm going to be moderating the panel, and I'm very thankful for that. So, and I'm excited that I get to meet some of these people we've had on our show in person finally. So that is so good. So if you are free, at anybody out there, and this is the same people that put on the San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh,
so this is not a little thing. This is what, 60,000 people probably attending, Marcia?
Yes.
So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So we're very excited about it, and just want everyone, if they can do it. I'm going to throw the link in the chat room right now. So if you want to look for more information and get, they call it it's passes, right, Marcia?
Badges.
They're badges.
They call them badges.
They call them badges. So which is really good. So but let me see if I can.
Hopefully, love to have Gabrielle. We love to have you at a future.
Yes, I definitely.
If you're free, we'd love to have you.
Future. Is it on the 27th?
It's evening of the 27th. Yeah.
I actually I'm gonna be up in Vancouver for my next project for another vertical that time. But I would definitely love to come and chat with people and with you guys in person.
Well, maybe there'll be another opportunity, and we'll let you know.
Oh, there definitely will be. But I see so many familiar names on that, like Jake and Jackie. Jackie actually is the one who told me. She was like, "Hey, I just was on Talented Universe. I think."
Oh, did she? Okay.
Yeah, so she's the one who sent me your guys' information, and then I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool!" I researched you and I saw everything, and I was like, "I would love to." So that's when I emailed, and I was like, "Hey."
And Jackie was in a sci-fi vertical.
Yes. She was in was it the Lost Brother?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw
Brother
that.
Lost in Space. Yeah.
I just met, I think his name, is his name Logan? The lead male.
Luke Dodge.
Yeah, Luke Dodge, yes. I just met Luke last night for the first time as well, and he's so amazing, so sweet, great actor. But yeah, Jackie's the one who's like, "Hey, you should check this out," and so I'm so thankful that she got us connected, and thank you, Jackie.
Jackie's great.
Yeah.
So. But we're just happy, and we've asked a lot of other verticals, but as you said, you've got a gig, and it's like a lot of them that we wanted, they were busy, and I mean,
it's so hard because they're.
I understand. Some people don't understand, but I've been in this quote unquote business for a long time, since basically 2008.
Yeah.
And I understand commitments and things that some things happen and they can't do it, so that's why I want to make, and these are the people so far that say they are free. Something may happen with a filming project and they can't come. We're sorry, but we'll try to get somebody else to fill their place. So but
and it's awesome that you guys are giving the space for people to talk and like communicate and chat about things, so it's really great, and thank you guys for doing that.
Oh, we just really enjoy it. We really enjoy it.
Yes,
so
we do.
On that note, everybody, take care. I threw out the link to WonderCon. If you want to get more information, it's at the Anaheim Convention Center in Anaheim, California. Goes from the 27th to the 29th. So, but our panel is going to be on the evening of the 27th. So, everyone, take care, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.
Thank you guys for watching. See ya.